Have you ever met someone who seemed almost too good to be true? Someone who, from the very first moment, showered you with compliments, gifts, and intense affection, making you feel like the most special person in the world? Perhaps they declared their love incredibly quickly, spoke of a future together within days or weeks, or seemed to understand your deepest desires without you even saying a word. It felt exhilarating, breathtaking even, like a fairy tale romance unfolding at warp speed. But what if that intense, overwhelming affection isn't genuine love, but something far more calculated? What if it's a tactic designed to disarm you, to create an emotional dependency, and ultimately to gain control? Today, we're going to talk about a phenomenon that's gaining increasing public awareness, a complex and insidious form of psychological and emotional manipulation known as love bombing. It's a term often thrown around in popular psychology, but it describes a very real and damaging pattern of behavior. My goal today is to demystify love bombing, to break down the science behind how it works, why it's so effective, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself and recognize its signs. We'll explore its origins, the key characteristics that define it, and the profound psychological impact it can have. We'll also delve into some of the nuances and debates surrounding the term, helping us understand when genuine affection crosses the line into something manipulative. This isn't about casting judgment, but about equipping you with knowledge and practical tools to navigate your relationships with greater awareness and confidence. Act 1. The Foundation of Control. First, let's establish what love bombing truly is. At its core, love bombing is an overwhelming display of affection and attention in the early stages of a relationship. But here's the critical distinction. Its fundamental purpose is manipulative, aiming for control and the creation of emotional dependency, rather than a genuine, healthy connection. The term itself actually has a fascinating, if unsettling, origin. It was originally coined by the Unification Church of the United States in the 1970s. They used it as a psychological tactic for recruitment, to foster unity and exert influence over new members. Other groups, like the Family International, also employed similar strategies. So right from its inception, love bombing was linked to strategic manipulation within group dynamics. In recent years, love bombing has become a trending topic, especially as we see a rise in romance scams and a greater understanding of narcissistic behaviors in relationships. Mental health professionals and organizations are increasingly providing resources on this topic, highlighting a societal need for protective measures and education. It's a sign that more and more people are recognizing these patterns and seeking to understand them. Act 2. The Mechanics of Manipulation. So how does love bombing actually work? What does it look like in action? Love bombing is defined by a pattern, not just an isolated gesture. It's an almost continuous torrent of excessive compliments, flattery, gifts, and attention, all designed to rapidly forge an intense emotional bond. The aim is to make the target feel incredibly special, cherished, and indispensable. Let's break down the key indicators. Excessive flattery and gifts. Imagine being showered with exaggerated praise, told you're their soulmate or the most amazing person they've ever met within days of meeting. This often comes with lavish, sometimes unneeded presents, creating a feeling of being overwhelmed and obligated. Constant communication and demands. The love bomber will bombard you with non-stop messages, calls, and emails. They demand constant attention, reacting negatively or becoming upset if you don't respond immediately, or if your plans don't center around them. It feels like they want to consume all of your time and thoughts. Accelerated commitment. This is where relationship milestones are rushed. You might hear declarations of eternal love after just a few dates, or discussions of marriage, moving in together, or having children within weeks. They might push for rapid introductions to their friends and family, creating a sense of a shared future that's moving at lightning speed. Boundary disregard. When you try to set boundaries, perhaps needing some alone time, or having plans that don't involve them, they ignore your requests or argue against them, making you feel wrong or guilty for asserting your needs. Isolation tactics. This is a particularly insidious aspect. Gradually, they encourage you to distance yourself from your existing social support networks, your friends, family, hobbies. They might criticize your loved ones or make you feel guilty for spending time with anyone else. The goal is to increase your dependence on them, making them your sole source of validation and connection. These behaviors often initiate what's known as the love bombing cycle,
a pattern frequently associated with narcissistic behavior. Idealization. This is the initial love bombing phase, where you are intensely adored, put on a pedestal, and made to feel perfect. Devaluation. Once the love bomber feels secure in your attachment, the affection is withdrawn. It's replaced by criticism, coldness, emotional neglect, gaslighting, where your reality is questioned, and potentially other forms of abuse. Discard. Eventually, the relationship may end abruptly, leaving you confused, hurt, and bewildered by the sudden shift. Hoovering. In many cases, the love bomber will attempt to hoover you back in, using renewed love bombing tactics to re-engage you, restarting the cycle. The psychological impact on victims is severe. That initial rush of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, during the idealization phase, creates a powerful emotional dependency. It's like an addiction, making it incredibly hard to leave, even when the devaluation begins. Victims often experience anxiety, depression, plummeting self-esteem, intense confusion, a sense of worthlessness, and even a loss of their own identity. Trusting future relationships becomes a monumental challenge. While often linked to individuals displaying narcissistic traits or diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, love bombing isn't exclusive to them. It can also be exhibited by those with anxious or insecure attachment styles, antisocial traits, romance scammers, sex traffickers, and even gang members looking to recruit. It's a tool of manipulation across various contexts. Now, it's important to acknowledge some of the complexities and primary debates around love bombing. Slight pause, thoughtful. 1. Distinguishing love bombing from genuine affection. This is perhaps the biggest challenge. How do you tell the difference between manipulative love bombing and sincere, intense affection from someone genuinely excited about a new connection? The key lies in 3 areas. Intention. Is the affection given to control you or out of genuine love and care for your well-being? A love bomber's affection often comes with strings attached, even if subtle. Pace and consistency. Genuine relationships develop organically, with affection building steadily and remaining relatively consistent. Love bombing involves rapid escalation, followed by the dramatic withdrawal of affection in the devaluation phase. Boundary respect. A genuine partner respects your boundaries, even if they're disappointed. A love bomber will ignore, argue against, or guilt trip you for asserting your needs. If someone consistently makes you feel wrong for having boundaries, that's a significant red flag.
2. Clinical status and intentionality. Love bombing is a popular psychology term, but it's not a formal clinical diagnosis. This leads to discussions about its precise application. While often presented as deliberate, malicious manipulation, some individuals might engage in love bombing behaviors unintentionally due to underlying psychological factors, like an anxious attachment style, a profound fear of abandonment, deep insecurity, or even just naivete in relationships. The debate is whether the term should strictly apply to malicious intent, or if it can also encompass these less nefarious motivations. It's a spectrum, but the impact on the recipient remains similar. 3. Benign applications. You might occasionally hear the term love bombing used in a positive context. For example, clinical psychologist Oliver James advocated for it as a positive parenting technique to address children's emotional problems by showering them with dedicated attention. It's crucial to understand that this is a very different context. In the realm of adult romantic relationships, the term almost universally carries strong negative connotations due to its manipulative core. Moving into practical advice, more direct and empowering. Given all this, how can you protect yourself? Knowledge is your greatest defense. Here are some essential protection and recovery strategies. 1. Recognize red flags. Pay attention to the patterns we've discussed: excessive flattery, constant demands for attention, accelerated commitment, and boundary disregard. Your gut feeling is often your first warning system. 2. Set and maintain boundaries. Clearly communicate your needs and limits. A healthy partner will respect them. A love bomber will push back. 3. Slow down the pace. Don't let yourself be rushed into intense emotional declarations or major life decisions. Healthy relationships take time to build trust and genuine connection. 4. Trust your intuition. If something feels off or too good to be true, it often is. Don't dismiss those quiet alarms within you. 5. Maintain independence. Continue nurturing your existing friendships, family relationships, hobbies, and personal space. Don't let anyone isolate you. 6. Seek objective perspectives. Talk to trusted friends, family members, or a therapist. An outside perspective can help you see patterns you might miss when you're deeply enmeshed. 7. Educate yourself.
Continue learning about manipulation tactics. The more you understand, the less susceptible you become. 8. Prioritize safety. If you recognize you are in a love bombing cycle, particularly one that has entered devaluation and abuse, prioritizing your physical and emotional safety is paramount. This may necessitate cutting off contact, even if it feels incredibly difficult. Professional help, like a therapist specializing in abusive relationships, can provide invaluable support during recovery. D. Conclusion. The future outlook for understanding and addressing love bombing is one of increased public education and vigilance. By continuing to talk about these patterns, by empowering individuals to recognize red flags and set healthy boundaries, we can create a society that better protects its members from psychological manipulation. Love bombing preys on our natural human desire for connection, validation, and intense love. It's a testament to its deceptive nature that it can be so difficult to identify in the moment. But remember, genuine love is built on respect, trust, mutual understanding, and healthy pace. It doesn't seek to control or overwhelm. Your feelings are valid. Your well-being matters. Trust yourself, understand the signs, and always prioritize relationships that feel truly safe, balanced, and respectful. By understanding the science of love bombing, you empower yourself to build healthier, more authentic connections that truly nourish your spirit.